Seb, a lot's been going on in Italy. If you want to talk about your boys and Inter. All you, how's Serie A looking now? Is this something to stay? How crazy is the Derby della Madonnina going to be?
Yeah, let me break
Just
it down.
like all you, bro.
So, I said it last episode. I said a Milan derby in the Champions League semifinal would be insane. It hasn't happened since 2005. The city is going to actually tear itself apart. So for people that perhaps don't know, for people that are not necessarily aware or maybe just getting into soccer and are listening to this podcast to do that, Milan, the city of Milan has two teams, Inter and AC Milan. One team wears red and black, one team wears blue and black. AC Milan was founded first, and then a split-off team happened maybe like 5 to 10 years later of more international players, and Inter was created. So it's it's literally, Inter means Internazionale, and AC Milan is the original team. So it's literally like a team that came out of another team, and therefore what you have is the city that's split in two, and like roots for one part of the city roots for one team, one part of the city roots for the other team. And
quick question.
Yes, sir.
Was Inter like a black team?
No. It was,
Nigga,
it was before black people.
You said it's
Inter-
international.
I know, but
It was
like,
international, but in the sense that it was like
Europeans.
Swedish people and
Yeah,
like
it was
British
a-
people.
it was
It was
an
first.
innocent question.
That's not a fair
No,
question.
it's a fair question.
I'm just
It's a
saying you
fair
know how
question.
fucked up them niggas are.
Oh.
It's a fair question.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I promise you they wasn't
First
black
of
in
all,
the 40s.
No.
can I just say,
Yes.
though he is so
Biased?
he is so AC Milan institutionalized.
Yeah, they kind of just came out of us
This
like,
is how.
I mean, it's true. But
this
Inter fans will tell you the same
description.
thing.
No. For people who've never heard this broken down like this, this is how every single AC Milan explains that and how they came about.
Okay.
That exact wording because you
But how else?
because you emphasize
Yeah.
that they came from
Yeah.
I know y'all, bro.
That's
I know
low,
your
bro.
kind.
That's low, bro.
Just so that
I mean,
you
it
can
is.
sun them and
But-
make it seem like they're
if-
lesser than.
If a club
Like they're your
emerged,
rib.
but they are.
it's
Oh my
like the
God.
Lakers.
It's like an appendix.
Hold up,
You know how you
Lakers
don't
and
need your
Clippers?
appendix.
Lakers and Clippers?
Yeah, but not even like you
Worse.
know. Do you know what an appendix is?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So you know how you can take a part of your body out and you don't need it, and it can, that's what Inter is
He
basically.
asked,
Y'all talking
he
crazy,
asked,
bro.
do you know what appendix is? Just so he could answer his own question.
Yeah,
He didn't even let you
I need
finish.
to make sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Go
so
on.
but respect to Inter fans, because at the end of the day, like I do think that they are like an insanely passionate group of people as well, and it's always so fun
Yeah.
to see how that will manifest itself. Like the stadium itself will split.
Yeah.
One side will be red, one side will be blue. Flares. Yes, sir.
I know. Actually, no. I just have a legit question.
Mhm.
Are y'all gonna do the games 50-50?
Yes.
Or is okay? So
Yeah,
the Milan
yeah.
home game
Yes, sir.
isn't like
That's what I think is one of-
75%. It's
that
just
is-
50-50.
yeah.
That's mad cool.
That is
That's
one of the
mad
coolest
cool.
things about the Milan Derby.
Same
is that
stadium. Yeah.
It is the same stadium, but sometimes when teams share the same stadium, like for example Roma, when they share the same stadium with Lazio, Roma will sell tickets to their Roma fans because it's
Yeah.
a Roma home game. Regardless of Lazio is playing in their home stadium, it's still a Roma home game.
Yeah.
So Roma fans get precedent on tickets.
Yeah.
However, when it's the Milan Derby, the tickets get split 50-50 between Milan fans and Inter fans right down the middle. So that stadium is going to be half red and half blue,
fire.
50-50.
We
Heard
out.
you.
Yes.
But
I
bro,
would love to be. I would love to be.
I need to hear predictions, and then what do you think this means for the state of Italian football?
Yeah.
And is AC Milan specifically your boys? Do
Yeah.
you think they're slowly getting back to that Carlo Ancelotti 2007 vibe?
So let me break this down. To begin with, I think that the state of Italian football is in an amazing, amazing, amazing place.
You don't
One,
think it's an anomaly?
I do not, because Napoli has no debts, and that's a very, very big deal. Generally, when a club has to sell all their players at the end of the season, it's because they have debts.
Mhm.
Ajax, when that whole 2018 team had to like give up all those players,
Ziyech,
they were in a lot of debt, so they had to give up all those players. Lyon, when they had Depay, Lacazette, all those players,
Mhm.
they had to give up those players because they were in debt. Napoli has no debts. They own their stadium, so they make all the money from the tickets this season, and they're about to win the league, so they're fine. They can
Mhm.
pay for those players and keep them. And so that's Napoli set. Juventus is on the up and up. Like they just got their points back, so they're in third. Roma has Mourinho, and they're doing really well. Milan and Inter are actually in the Champions League semifinals for the first
Bread.
time since 2005. They're playing each other. And Milan has no debts. Inter has some debts, but they don't even have that notable of a player. Like, who are you going to poach off Inter's team? Who is the player that is really being touted?
Barella,
nigga with the-
Lautaro.
Barella, Lautaro, but like
That's it. But they're not like
they're,
super
they're
high.
not
Yeah,
super
yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
not unrealistic for Inter to keep Barella and Lautaro
No,
next season.
not at all. Not at all.
Which means, I mean, let me just finish the sentence. But which means that Italian football is in a very, very like just under the cusp space where like it's not necessarily realistic to poach too much from them, and yet they have the financial backing now because of the success that they had this season
Yeah.
to actually go and spend a little bit this summer and reinforce and start to level up this perception of Italian soccer like what it was back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So speaking of spending,
Mhm.
I read that AC Milan spent a combined 40 million euros on both Leao and Mike Maignan from Lille.
From Lille, yes.
And you have a proven track record of shitting on the French league.
I do,
But
yes.
two of your best players now
Are from France. This
are
is
from
true.
France.
That's actually
So
interesting point.
one thing I'll say is that though there's a lot of French players or players from France who are actually doing well in the other top 5 leagues right now in Europe. So how come France aren't able to actually keep those players so that they can elevate
In their own league?
the level of their own league? In your opinion,
Well, let me put it this way. If I'm Mike Maignan and I'm playing for Lille, I can do everything that I want to do with Lille, but at the end of the day, people don't respect my league. It's just a perception of it. So if you are an athlete with a hunger and a drive to actually get to the highest level, you're going to leave. You're going to go to a league in which you feel like at the end of the career, you can sit back, tell your kids, listen, I did everything that I could to play at the highest level. So you go to Italy because there's more history, there's more passion, there's more story. And then you make the next step. You go to Spain and you go to England. Now what Italy has to do is they have to make it a point to put themselves on the same platform as Spain and England. And if they can do that, then you get the switch back and people start.
Y'all got to keep all those ballers right
Exactly.
now.
but that's what
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying
just
for France. Like before you
They got to
go,
keep them. The
like
searchers keep 'em.
collectively, the teams I feel like don't like it's like MLS saying the one shirt sponsor is gonna be Adidas for the whole entire league. I feel like there's ways, just like in the background, NBA team owners or NFL team owners, there's certain things that they do where they meet with each other and kind of have a consensus on certain things. And I feel like that's how the French Ligue 1 should be, where they're kind of like, yo, we're gonna have a structure that's gonna be best for the whole entire league. Where y'all should be able to like, we're gonna help each other keep certain players to elevate whole entirety of
Before
the
you go,
league.
can I just say one sentence real quick? Like, I also think it's a perception of the fan base that contributes to this like downplaying of Liga. Because when I think of Liga, I think of French people. And unfortunately, I don't think of French people as like the most passionate football fans. I think of them as a little bit like uptight, a little bit like better than that. And so like for the passion, the flares, the like griminess of like actually supporting a team for real, I don't think of that when I think of Liga. And I think that's something that also players probably feel. Like in conversations with like players and stuff, when discussing leagues and the perception of leagues, that like players that play at like professionally, their perception of Liga is one of like, oh, that's a very like neat and tidy and like, well put together league. But like, that's not the type of romanticized career that a player wants to have. A player, when they're a little kid, romanticizes the idea of like, oh, I am going to play for the most passionate and like most supportive fans in the world. Ligue 1 does not have that perception. And so unfortunately, it tarnishes their ability to attract. It's marketing at the end of the day. Would you rather go to a 5-star restaurant, or would you rather take your girl out to a 5-star restaurant? Or would you rather take your girl out to, I don't know,
Applebee's?
Applebee's. At the end of the day, you're gonna go to the 5-star restaurant
Applebee's,
because
you
of
want
the
to sponsor
story.
us? I mean, we here. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of the idea. It's a perception thing, and it goes all the way.
Sometimes.
Josh, sorry.
Depends on the vibe, right? Josh, go crazy.
Bro. I was
Then
just
we
gonna
moving
say
on.
that Italy's been doing all around Champions League semifinals, Europa League, and Conference League.
And Conference
They
League.
won last year, the first ever.
Yes.
Roma with Mourinho,
So-
famous meme now.
Fiorentina is
With the
probably going to win the
confetti.
Conference League.
Huh?
Fiorentina is probably going to win the Conference
Yeah,
League.
no, I was about to say.
Roma is still in the Europa League.
Should we talk Europa real quick before we move on to other news?
I think we should quickly discuss Inter and Milan as a prediction thing.
Oh, true. Yeah, AC. Oh,
Even you
Milan
could
derby.
Talk about
Yeah.
the match too.
Yeah, I didn't even get to speak about
We just,
Napoli.
the clock.
Leo got, you know what I'm saying?
Clock zooming.
Leo got these boys looking like combs. I was gonna say, if you look at that run,
Mm-hmm.
literally, it's like an older brother with a younger brother in his friends.
Literally, fuck off me.
Yeah.
literally.
He's smiling the whole time.
Literally, haha, fuck off me. Thank you. Anyway, man.
Yeah.
I think
Feeling nice.
Oh, question.
yeah.
Is he genuinely smiling?
Yes, he is.
Or is it just like
He's breathing.
just a thing that happens to his face? Or is
Yeah.
he actually smiling? Because I'm really interested in knowing that. Like, is it really because some people just have
Yeah.
like they do unconsciously certain things, mannerisms or whatever. And I like is
he consciously
actually
smiling? We'd have to ask him.
consciously, yeah.
Let's get him on the show and ask him.
Very soon.
Facts.
No,
Deadass. Very soon.
Leao. Big Man Rafa, you don't know.
Yeah, I want to know.
Come on. Come on.
But yeah,
That's funny as hell. Though.
All right, Milan Derby predictions. Let's go around table. You can
Well,
break it down.
so
but
yeah,
we'll just-
I just to answer your question, I'll break down the fact that like Milan played Napoli 3 times in 2 weeks and took care of business 3 times in a row. And that is not an easy thing to do.
No,
We
it's
went to
hard.
Naples, beat them 4-0. They came to San Siro, we beat them, and then we went back to Naples and we got the result. I think that's a huge confidence boost. I think that is extremely morally important because first of all, there's a lot of inter-country rivalry. Like I don't know if people know this, and this is like a little bit of like in-depth Serie A stuff, but like Teo Hernandez, when we played Napoli the first time, he like shoulders Lozano. Lozano falls. He gets into Lozano's face. He screams in his face, right? Teo Hernandez has just had a baby, so he posted a photo of his baby on Instagram a few days later. Fans start talking about, I hope your baby dies. I hope your wife and baby
Jesus.
die.
let's stop all that
Nah, I
bullshit.
saw
But
that,
yeah,
the death threats, bro.
Death threats
That's
to his
crazy.
wife, his child, his mother as well. So the whole team gets around Teo Hernandez. Teo Hernandez chants are going all over the place. If you look at all the captions that the AC Milan players posted, it's quotes like let the game talk, let what you do on the field speak for itself, blah blah blah. So like underlyingly, there was like a vendetta, there was like a personal thing, and that energy carries. Whereas you look at Inter and the mentality that they played with, yes, they got their business done, but they went to they beat Benfica 3-3. Well, they beat Benfica 2-0
Yeah.
and then tied 3-3.
and they let up OD at the end of
But
that
they
match.
let the fuck up, and
Yeah.
that is a very very like shaky thing because they were up 3-1.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you didn't watch the game, you'd think it was a
Yeah.
close game.
Yeah.
But Benfica scored in the 88th minute and the 90th minute.
yeah.
Off 2 just lack of concentration goals. That's not a good way to go
Playing
into a
with
Milan
the ball
derby.
at the back.
So I on this podcast, I've always been very, very cautious about my Milan predictions.
But
But
you think y'all got it?
I will say that I think that mentally, I think we are in a better spot than them because
fair.
they also played a weaker opponent. They have been traveling.
Yep.
And they are seen on paper as the underdogs. And when you're seen
Yeah.
as the underdogs in an intercity derby, you're feeling way more pressure than I'm an underdog and I got to travel to England. It's every day for the next 2 weeks. Every time these players go get coffee, restaurant, shopping, anything, they are feeling that pressure for the next 2 weeks. The city actually changes because like banners go up, like every single person is talking about it. So like you're gonna I think it's a little bit too
Yeah.
much for Inter to handle.
It's like Atletico.
Yeah.
You know what we did.
No, literally.
Kendrick, what's your prediction?
I want to see AC Milan in the final. I want to see.
We're going. If Milan is in the
I
final,
wanna
we're
see
going.
Leao ball out. So.
Defo. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say I definitely want AC Milan to reach the final, but I think Inter is gonna take it.
That would be
I
sneaky
think
as fuck.
football-
That'd be
I think
sneaky as
football
fuck.
is
I think AC
football,
Milan is gonna
football.
take the first leg, but I can see an Inter come back into the second.
there's
one
no
and
home-
making
What's
it.
crazy is there's no home and away.
There's no home and away like Madrid and City.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go AC Champions League. I'm going with football heritage. You know, as Mourinho says, so I'm going AC Milan. Shout out Leo.
No, for sure. I mean, granted.
And shout out Mike.
Oh, Magic Mike is crazy.
Shout out
One of the
Mike.
best
Mike,
keepers in the
Mike,
world.
yeah.
Like,
for me,
wow.
no, real shit.
Like wow.
For me, it's him and Courtois.
no deadass.
Period.
Deadass.
That's the top of the goalkeeper, and we have not seen it. When's the last black goalkeeper y'all saw do
Black
that?
He is so
I was
cool.
Dida,
just about to say,
Dida from
Black
Brazil.
goalkeepers is a different
Dida
breed.
from Brazil actually on y'all team.
And the other
That's
thing
the
that's
last
cool
one I
is
can think of.
Inter
This is
also has a
incredible.
really good black
Yeah.
goalkeeper.
Mandi too,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like Mike's consistency is crazy.
Yeah,
It's
he's
crazy.
different. He's different.
Inter also has a really good black
Oh,
goalkeeper.
Nana, shout out Andre too.
That is probably. I don't know, but I would assume that it's probably the first time that
Has
two
to
black
be.
goalkeepers play
Let's
each
look
other
it
in the
up.
Champions League final.
Come on,
In the
G.
Champions League semifinal.
Nah, it has to be.
Last prediction.
I do want Milan. Know what I'm saying? We got Leao there, Tamori as well.
Yeah,
You know what
young
I'm
boy.
saying?
It's a black team, but they're both black teams to be fair.
To be fair, football is football, though.
Yeah,
And
with
so
some
that's the thing. There's gonna be key points in the match. It's tough. This
Yeah.
one.
I'm so nervous, bro. Oh my god.
I feel you. I mean, nigga, we gotta play City. The fuck.
Yeah, but it's a.
But
derby.
y'all,
You gotta-
y'all
never
haven't
get
won in
into it.
forever. We
No,
won
the
last
final
year, so it's
that
kind of
day.
whatever. Yeah.
No.
Let's watch it.
Yeah.
Let's
so
figure something
nervous.
out.
Okay, bet.
Let's get some games going. But
I'm so fucking nervous.